For the Western Conference Finals, we have OKC versus the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, they played their first game last night, and it was absolute cinema. Literally one of the best games I've probably ever watched. These are two very young teams who have two arguably top 3 players in the league. First thing I want to talk about is both of these teams' depth. They are honestly some of the deepest teams in the NBA, OKC probably being the deepest, but San Antonio is not that far behind. Even though they did have more players playing 40 minutes last night, they still have rotational players that can play good defense and lock down on the perimeter. Like Carter Bryant, he played good perimeter defense on Shea last night, but he is a rookie, so he did make some mistakes that did lead to some free points for Shea. And in terms of minutes, OKC had 2 players playing 40 minutes plus last night in a double overtime, and the Spurs had 5, which was basically their entire starting lineup. But this was a very small sample size, as I doubt a lot of these games are going to go to double overtime, and obviously they're going to play their starters in both of these overtimes. Defensively, the Spurs are just more intact, as Wemby poses a threat on the inside easily. The OKC looks extremely scared. They don't want to attack the paint at all, and if they do, normally it gets blocked or they miss their shot. And that's exactly why they shot 41% from the field last night, and the Spurs had 20 more rebounds than OKC did. Victor Wembanyama on the offensive glass was absolutely incredible, as he had 9 offensive rebounds last night. And OKC has a problem with this. Chet is a decent rebounder, but Wemby is just taller and bigger and more physical than Chet is, and he just grabs those offensive rebounds. Also, they sub between Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein, who are decent rebounders, but they just cannot match up with Victor. And I mean, in reality, no one can. I just think that is OKC's boxing out that they need to work on, although San Antonio did have some problems boxing out as well. But when you have a dude that's 7'5", it just makes it a little bit easier for the Spurs. Now let's talk about their guard play. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot 30% from the field and only had 24 points on 23 shots. That is very unlike him. Do I think he'll play like this for the rest of the series? I'm kind of unsure, and honestly, it might be a maybe, since the San Antonio Spurs knew exactly how to guard him. Double teaming him, having players play up in his face the entire time, and just being face guarded, basically guarded down the entire court, because they know that most of the offense that OKC has runs through him. So I could see him having maybe some better games and just shooting more efficiently, and that would definitely help out OKC. But Alex Caruso, 31 points on 8 threes. I'm sorry, but he's not going to do this again. This is a once-in-a-lifetime game for Alex Caruso, and they basically sold it, as he was playing really good defense for the OKC Thunder, and he was just that shooter in the corner that was kind of the bailout. When he got open, he made most of them, and he played fantastic. But then again, he's not going to play like this again, I assure you. Next, for the San Antonio Spurs, we're going to talk about Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper is a rookie this year, by the way, and he played absolutely fantastic. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 steals. He played fantastic in those passing lanes, and he knew exactly how to read them. This dude was honestly looking like a free safety, as he knew exactly where to be when the OKC Thunder passed the ball. Now, did he shoot great? No. 8 for 20 from the field, 40%, and 1 for 7 from 3 is not great. And the Spurs did not shoot great overall, as they shot 30% from the three-point line. But I just really want to talk about his defense and his perimeter defense and his passing lane defense, as it was almost perfect. On to Stephon Castle. He had 17 points and 11 assists, but he also had 11 turnovers. That is horrible. You cannot have that again. And that's honestly why the OKC Thunder were in this game, as they were getting a lot of fast break points, and especially off turnovers. Next, for Devin Vassell, honestly, he played pretty good, as he had 3 threes and 13 points. He just needs to find maybe a little more shots on the outside. And J-Dub had a good game when he came back, 26 points, 7 rebounds, and honestly was more of the offensive powerhouse in this game. But for their backup guards, AJ Mitchell, 4 points. Cason Wallace, 8 points. Cason Wallace played good defense, AJ Mitchell as well, but they just need to do more offensively, man. And for the bigs, Victor played absolutely out of his mind. I already said 41 points, 24 rebounds. Chet Holmgren, not great. 8 points, 8 rebounds. He just looks scared out there, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, extremely good first game, and honestly, I'm really excited for what's to come. And I bet you want to hear my prediction for this series. I'm going to now have the San Antonio Spurs in 7 games for this series. Now, maybe I'm overreacting, as I've had the Thunder as my NBA champion for this entire year, but I think that the Spurs combat this Oklahoma City Thunder offense really well. But maybe I'll get proved wrong because OKC is a very good team, so I can see them winning. Now for a series that has not happened yet and has not started, the Knicks versus the Cavs, which I think will be really, really good, as the Cavs are a little underrated in this series, and a lot of people have the Knicks winning, including me. The Cavs do have one of the best offenses in the league and a great guard duo in Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. James Harden, who has honestly ran this offense pretty well in the playoffs, and Donovan Mitchell providing most of the scoring engine for this Cavaliers team. For the Knicks, they've honestly been playing fantastic in these playoffs, and their ball movement is almost perfect, as they are looking like the best team in the East easily. Jalen Brunson, who has been the scoring engine for this Knicks team, as he's averaging the third most points in the playoffs this year. Jalen Brunson is pretty reliable in the playoffs, as he always excels himself when he gets these moments. But I honestly think that the Knicks are just such a better team in the playoffs, as they are just so much better in these moments. And I just want to talk about how these teams match up. I think they match up very well, as they are more offensive-oriented teams, but I think that the Knicks are a little better at defense. I know, the Knicks have Jalen Brunson on defense, who is one of the worst defenders in the NBA statistically, but just the people around him that they build is really what holds this defense down. And I believe that's what's going to win this Knicks team this series. Two honestly really good perimeter defenders for the Knicks are OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, and Cat has been playing very well on the inside as well. Josh Hart off the bench, who provides extra rebounding, and Landry Shamet, who provides good shooting, and Jalen Brunson, obviously a very good mid-range and pretty good three-point shooter as well. And for the Cavs, they have one of the best defenders in the league in Evan Mobley, and a decent rim protector in Jarrett Allen, but their guard play is not great defensively. Now, James Harden and Donovan Mitchell aren't horrible perimeter defenders, but they're not to the level of OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, and I think that's going to be a big hiccup for this team. Although Donovan Mitchell is hard to stop, I think they're just going to try their best to slow him down at least. In the regular season, the Knicks are 2-1 against the Cavs, but most recently when they have James Harden, the Cavaliers actually won this game. And in this game, the Cavs honestly didn't really play that good, and nor did Donovan Mitchell. And they only let the Knicks score 94 points. Does this mean that they can have Donovan Mitchell, who has an off game, but they really lock down the Knicks offense? I don't really think so, since the playoffs are a little different. And this Knicks team, again, plays much better when they are in these moments. But maybe I'm wrong, and they have one of those games where they just lock down defensively, and their offense doesn't do much talking, but it's fine since their defense plays so good. And to put a statistic here, the Knicks are the best shooting team in the playoffs right now, easily. Shooting a whopping 52% from the field this entire playoffs, and 41% from the three-point line, being about 2% above everybody in the entire playoffs. If you're a Knicks fan, this is really what you want to see, and that they perform so much better in the playoffs. I cannot say that enough, as they also allow the least amount of points from teams that they face in the playoffs, with 101 points per game. Like, this team they're just so much better at everything when they're in this moment, and I just don't think the Cavs can really match that, because they shoot about 5% worse from the field, and they also shoot about 6% worse from the three-point line. Now, they're a good offensive team, but they just do not match up to the capability that the Knicks can be. That sounds like a lot of positives for the Knicks right there, but there is some positives for the Cavs as well. That's going to be the Cavaliers' size on the inside, as they run a primarily double big lineup in Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. So the Knicks are going to have to give up some offense and maybe putting in Mitchell Robinson in some of these moments, which can then let maybe Donovan Mitchell or James Harden cook a little bit more and maybe help the Cavaliers space out their offense a little more as well, using Sam Merrill or Max Strus, for example, which could again help the Cavaliers beat the Knicks on the three-point line. But other than that, statistically, the Knicks do rule out the Cavaliers in almost every single general statistical category. So if the Cavs do pull this off, honestly, I see it as a pretty big upset, as the Knicks do look like the best team in the East right now. And if you want to hear my prediction, I'm going to have the New York Knicks in 6 games. I could see this one going to 7, but I honestly don't think that the Knicks are going to need it, and I think they're going to outplay the Cavaliers a little bit more. Then again, I would love for them to prove me wrong, as I like to see upsets, and I like to see the Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell exceeding the playoffs. Anyways, thank you for watching. I love you if you made it this far, and see you next time.